When you click on this video, you're definitely wondering just how much more pro is the Pocket 4P comparing to the Pocket 4. Is this new dual lens model really worth more over the base model? Its core feature has to be the image quality, especially with the addition of this 60mm equivalent telephoto lens, right? Which allows you to quickly punch in 3 times and you can get much closer to film the stuff you want. And I can tell you this, the image quality exceeded our expectations. And the surprise is just when we saw the 4P model shares at least one sensor with the Pocket 4, our test revealed that both sensors are completely different from the Pocket 4. So why would DJI do this? Let's look at some sample footage first before diving into the hardware. You will see that the Pocket 4P is just so good at retaining highlights and shadows. At the first glance, the Pocket 4P shows hints of design element from DJI's drones. The vertical camera array and the same filter installation method, both similar to the DJI Air 3S dual camera module. And there's also a wide-angle adapter turns the main camera to 50mm. And the field light for the Pocket 4 both works on the 4P. All that to be expected. As for the surprise, this time there's a wide version of the Pocket 4P, which is pretty good looking. Which color you think is better for you? And it weighs around 230 grams, about the weight of a Pocket 4 plus a set of AirPods, so you don't really feel much difference. The head and the body is now more balanced, making it more steady to hold, and the gimbal arm is also longer and the motor has more torque, so the Pocket 4P stability is pretty solid. All that aside, it's identical to the Pocket 4 from the neck down, and just some minor difference, especially with the memories. Now it's 103GB, which is really counterintuitive since the Pocket 4 has 107GB. It records vertical video at 3K 60p, just the same as the Pocket 4. But these are just minor gripes. The main selling point is the new long lens. DJI has equipped it with a brand new 37MP 1/1.28" sensor paired with a 60mm equivalent f1.8 lens. So I'm not sure if you like using this focal lens, but it's pretty rare to see it. If you want to film a bit further away, I feel it's too wide and the compression is strong enough to accentuate the subject. So for that, a 70 or 80mm lens works much better. But on the flip side, the lens offers a clear advantage. The minimum focusing distance is around 12 inches. This allows you to instantly punch in 3 times and film anything you hold in your hand, a drink or a cake or anything. It's really good to show that. And another benefit from that is the stronger background blur. So when you film object really up close without filming too tightly, the image you get is pretty beautiful with the background blur, the bokeh. But that aside, a more critical consideration for this focal lens is the focusing capability. So in shots like this, the camera pushes in and out, you can see it locks onto subject. So besides the user experience, what about the image quality? All I can say is it kinda depends. So when you are filming subject up close, the resolution is very good, with plenty of detail on display. But if you shoot further away, the image gets a little bit soft, I would say, comparing to the main camera. And this is especially evident when you zoom into the 6x range, since it's technically cropped and resampled 3x optical zoom. The bottom line is the lens image quality is very close to the telephoto lens on the iPhone 17 Pro. And here's a pleasant surprise, the dynamic range is much better than telephoto from most phones. I need to point out this, since we were testing with a chart and we captured around roughly 13 to 14 stops of dynamic range. And when compared to a phone's telephoto, you can clearly see it retains more highlight info and the performance truly exceeded our expectations. And the only drawback is probably the noise in the shadows, which is quite visible in the low light shooting. So I would like recommending filming in good lighting condition with this telephoto lens. So for the recording specs, the telephoto sensor offers 4K 60p with D-Log and 4K 200fps in normal color mode for shooting slow motion. And for the rolling shutter effect, does it skew the image when panning? There is a little bit jello effect, you can tell, so you can't whip pan like this in daily use. All that things considered, I would say the telephoto lens shows mixed performance. It works well for filming people and other subjects, but if you have high hopes, the image quality is not as good as an interchangeable lens camera. You need to manage your expectations. On the other hand though, I gotta say the Pocket 4P's main camera will certainly leave an impression. It's backed by a different sensor than the regular Pocket 4 and now has a D-Log 2 curve. You heard it right, yep. Even the Ronin 4D and professional DJI drones and cameras doesn't have this curve, but Pocket 4P has it. So enjoy the sample footage. With this new log curve, the Pocket 4P has an astonishing 17 stops of dynamic range. Lens-wise, it is the same as the Pocket 4 at 20mm equivalent f2.0. The main change is the 1-inch silicone. It's now a low-fic sensor. I don't know if you know about low-fic. It's a bit hard to explain on low-fic, but basically this sensor is extremely capable of capturing highlight information. So this makes the D-Log 2 curve an exclusive feature on this sensor. And it's not available on the telephoto lens or even the normal Pocket 4. Our tests have shown its dynamic range peaks as ISO 1600, reaching around 17 stops. And that puts in close range with top-tier cinema cameras like the Arri Alexa 35. So it's really easy to see in the scenes where D-Log would clip highlights, you just switch to D-Log 2 and bam, all the highlights are retained. It's not magic, but it's pretty crazy for this small camera to have such dynamic range. And the biggest advantage of this is the new curve allows you to shoot 1 or 2 stops over. Just put it back in post and you get footage with super clean shadows. I'd say even just lock it at ISO 800 and shoot at +1 or +1.3 EV in auto mode, it won't blow out highlight in most scenes and will surely deliver cleaner shadows. So I think this is the best setting for shooting with the new curve. But there's one downside with this new feature. Don't be put off by the monitoring image, which appears way overexposed than the actual footage. Anyone who used Nikon cameras would kinda know this problem. I have no idea why DJI messed this up, but I hope they fix it in a new firmware. Dynamic range aside, the wide-angle lens image quality is kinda similar to the Pocket 4, but at 2x zooms, the quality appears slightly worse than the Pocket 4. It's really strange. We asked DJI engineers and they have told us that 2x lossless zoom will be added later via a firmware update. So it's kind of strange. Now the Pocket 4 actually has better quality than the Pocket 4P in 2x zoom. So by now, I think you have a pretty good idea about the Pocket 4P's 2 lenses and their image quality. But what about other aspects of user experience such as battery life, subject tracking, and the optional remote control? I really like this one though. Let's dive in and get a closer look. So the Pocket 4P's battery life and the heat management, it's good. Many concerned that the extra sensor and lens would affect battery life. Since it has the same 1545 mAh battery as the Pocket 4, our test shows that the 4P model does have a slightly shorter battery life than the Pocket 4. So for daily use, one battery handle is just about enough for a day. So it's safer to bring an extra handle or power bank since its charging speed is quite fast. About half an hour, you get full charge. And the thermal management is decent, I would say. We encountered no overheating shutdown in our test, just like the Pocket 4. But the biggest noticeable difference comparing to the Pocket 4 is probably the intelligent tracking for the telephoto lens. Although it works quite well in most cases, accurate recognizing human faces in movement or running, the nature of its longer focal length means its tracking behavior is different than wide angle. It's a little bit hard to frame with precision, and when tracking similar objects, they tend to drift off-center. And the gimbal is also a little bit sluggish. Moreover, once the subject is blocked by a foreground object, the focus would hunt like this. So I kinda hope DJI would continue to optimize the tracking performance. For accessories, the new Creator Combo now includes a remote control with a built-in screen, which is really nice. It's actually the same detachable screen found on DJI Osmo Mobile 8. It can connect directly to Pocket 4P to show a live view, and you can control the gimbal with a joystick, double tap to activate tracking, and even play back your footage. What's more, the transmission distance and stability are way better than we thought. From over 330 feet away, without any blockage, the live feed remains very stable. So you can use this screen as a tiny monitor, and when paired with this mini shock absorbing arm, it becomes probably the smallest and the most convenient car-mounted shooting solutions. I know it looks really funny, but it works. In conclusion, I would say the Pocket 4P is a pretty good camera, but what we're really paying for is probably not the telephoto lens, it's the main camera. It's really, really, really good. One of the best small form factor camera I've ever used. The telephoto is much more of an add-on. It's good in daylight, but not really good for low light. So this concludes our hands-on impression of the Pocket 4P. It's a bit short, but it's kind of similar to the Pocket 4. Please subscribe, this will help us a lot, and I will see you next time.